Public Service Commission says government will from February implement lifestyle audits for employees. This means that public servants, including ministers, premiers, MECs and those at state-owned entities, will be scrutinized as to whether their lifestyles match their reported income. For more on this, we're joined by the Public Service Commission's Commissioner, Michael Seloane. Commissioner, very good evening to you. Welcome to News at Prime. So, you've said that while these lifestyle audits are important, it is by no means a means to count people's money and stigmatize government workers earning a considerable amount of wealth.
Good evening, Tabekile, and good evening to the viewers. The concept of lifestyle audit is not a witch hunt to check whether officials are doing wrong or not, but it is a means of ensuring transparency, that when you are an official, people know exactly how you live, how much you earn, and then you are able to live according to a high standard of professional ethics. That is what lifestyle audit is all about. It is not by any means aimed at targeting officials who have gained wealth legitimately, but it's aimed at targeting officials who are involved in illicit dealings, which shows an unexplained wealth.
And let's talk about how thorough the process will be then if you are to make that determination.
For the past 10 years or more, there's been talk about lifestyle audits. And now the debates are now coming to an end, and then departments will be now forced in terms of the guidelines and the public service regulations to implement lifestyle audits from February next year. So throughout the course of this financial year, there's been preparation, workshops and seminars on how to conduct lifestyle audits, which is involved in about 3 processes, where there will be a lifestyle review. And the financial disclosure that the Commission is receiving from officials in the public service will form a basis of that lifestyle. Because in that report of financial disclosure framework, we have found out that about 14% of SMS members in the last financial year have been involved in acts that could be construed as potential conflicts of interest. That means they own companies, which is not necessarily illegal, and then by owning those companies, they may spend their time on those companies instead of in the public service, and they may use the resources of state for those public companies. So that is a potential conflict of interest which must be looked at thoroughly, and that will count.
Is the idea of lifestyle audits broadly welcomed across all levels of the public service?
The law is the law, and the Constitution indicates that public servants must live by a high standard of professional ethics. And that has been captured in the Public Service Act and Public Service Regulations. So it's only now that is now being implemented, that when departments are doing a risk management strategy, they must take into account lifestyle audits.
Another issue that you have been reflecting on in the quarterly assessment is to do with government's ability to pay its creditors on time. We've repeatedly heard premiers, ministers emphasizing the importance of this, but as we speak here tonight, Gauteng, the Eastern Cape and the Northwest have the highest debt to suppliers. So why is that still not being fixed when it's getting so much lip service publicly?
What I can indicate is that when we started, much of our focus has been with national departments, which had huge number of invoices which were not paid on time. And then because we have been monitoring them on quarterly basis, the number of invoices have significantly dropped, and only 2 departments are still cause for concern, and that is the Department of Public Works entity, which is called PMTE, and the Department of Water and Sanitation. They are still cause for concern. And then the Commission has focused much attention now to the provinces. And then when we started, of course, the amounts of money which were owed to service providers were going to 4 to 5 billion. And it has now significantly gone to about 2 billion in Eastern Cape and 1 billion in Gauteng and more than 260 million in the Free State, in the Northwest. So we are now focusing attention on monthly basis, sorry, on quarterly basis. We'll be monitoring all those provinces, especially repeat offenders, Eastern Cape, Gauteng, Northwest, to make sure that they reduce the number significantly and thus encourage the development of small and medium-sized enterprises.
Final question then, what are the implications of the lack of a full set of submissions by Mpumalanga and Cape Town, and the Western Cape, I beg your pardon?
That is a cause for concern, because the public service, sorry, the Treasury note or Treasury regulations requires that departments must submit their financial statements within 15 days after the end of the month. If they don't do that, it means that means there is serious problems, and those are provinces which has to be monitored very closely, and then in the coming quarter we'll be able to show that they are compliant and that they are reducing the number of invoices.
Thank you very much for that. That was the Public Service Commissioner, Michael Seloane, speaking to us tonight about the latest quarterly report. Thank you, sir, for your time tonight. This